Yes.
What is on your playlist, or who's on your playlist right now?
Well, for one, I'm sorry, but I'm Team Kendrick Lamar.
One of the things that I love about like this podcast here is the fact that like we're able to show y'all that we're human. Like we eat the same food as y'all eat. Maybe not, because some people eat interesting food, but you know, for the most part, what makes you smile? Like what makes you happy?
I think one thing that like stays true all the time is my family.
That was like a nice therapy session. I love it.
Let's go.
Yes. Let's go.
Yes, I love it. I'm a mom of 3. I have 2 daughters, and I just had a baby boy in February. And fun fact, all my kids have February birthdays. Have a husband who's also in tech, and he is a software engineer.
Society is kind of like, if you didn't go to college, you're gonna be homeless.
Because tech moves so fast and there's so much to it, and you're always gonna be learning, sometimes it can feel like you're behind even if you're not. If you know why you want to do something and it's strong enough, you can kind of lean on that as a crutch to keep going. So like for me, my why was I wanted to get my family in a better situation. People can have skills, but are you able to talk to people? Are you personable? Are you easy to work with? There's other things that factor into being a software engineer or web developer, because it's such a collaborative role.
Obviously, everybody knows you to be a software engineer, but now you're pivoting. What are you pivoting to? Why the pivot? Let's talk about that. And we are live with my sis, Jess. What's up, sis?
Hey, bro. I'm so happy to be here.
Dog, I'm nervous and excited at the same time. Like I just told you, like behind the scenes, I was like, yo, like I feel like I'm still trying to wake up. I'm nervous, and I haven't shot an episode in a minute. Yeah, I did like a lot of like batch recordings, and I took a break. So you're like my first one in like 2 months. And I'm like, yo, do I still know how to interview or like have a conversation? And like, you know what? Let's go for it. But I do feel like I'm a fan. My wife is a fan. And so if I'm going off 2 months not shooting, I feel like you're the perfect person to like start with. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So let's get it. Let's get it. How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm here. Yeah. I'm blessed. And I'm super honored to be on here, because you say you're a fan. I'm a fan of you and your wife. You guys' story is just absolutely inspiring, and I love watching you guys together. So yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I have like a fun segment that I want to do for you. I didn't send you these questions here because it's like a spontaneous vibe. And so I want the people to see you like as human, as real, as fun. You're not just a techie. Like you're so like diverse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah, let's get it. Let's get some questions going. So the first question. I'm
excited.
Let's do it. So the first question is this: what is one thing that you absolutely like love about yourself?
Oh my God. We starting off heavy. Okay.
Let's get it. We here.
Yeah. Okay. I love that I love helping people. I am a natural like nurturer and a natural giver. And I think that plays a lot into my choices in life. And we'll get into that obviously. But like, I feel like that is, like my husband's always telling me, you are always worried about you. I mean, everybody else, but except for you. Like you need to take more time for you. So I think that would be the biggest thing that I love about myself, because you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. Hey, I love it. All right. So we're techies, right? So if you could live with one piece of tech, right? Just one piece of tech, what would it be?
All right. I think this is easy. My iPad.
iPad? I thought you would say like an iPhone or like a phone.
Well, I would say iPad, because I can do those same things on my phone, I guess. I mean, I guess you would have to have like still like a phone plan, or you could just get on Wi-Fi to do like iMessage maybe and use your iCloud. So yes, for sure, iPad. Because first of all, I wear glasses, and so I need the bigger screens, and I like to write, and so I like the digital writing. So yeah, for sure, iPad.
Yeah. I never got to iPads. I don't know why. Like even to this day, I've never owned an iPad. My wife, she would have her pen and and I'm like, why have a pen and an iPad if you can just use your fingers and your thumbs and your phone? Like, you know what I mean? So
that's how my husband is.
Yeah. So what is it about iPads? Like besides you need like a bigger screen, right? What is it about iPads that has people going like crazy?
Well, for me, I'm a systems girly. So I love creating systems. I love planning. I love doing things. And I love stationery, but I find that as I have had more children, I just had my third, and just like life is kind of like going crazy, I'm liking a digital route, and then I'm always studying stuff. So I like the fact that you can write your notes in something digital and then search it instead of me trying to figure out what notebook did I put it in. I can
Yeah,
like
yeah.
search for the topic. It's also it's just good for my workflow. And then you can use it as a double screen. Like if I'm at a cafe working, you
Mm.
can have it with your MacBook as long as it's on the same iCloud email.
Okay, okay.
So,
No, I love it. I can see myself using it as like a double screen, like a secondary screen,
yes.
like for Slack or something like that. You know what I mean? You know,
Yes.
I might get into iPads this year. I don't know. It's
I'm
not too
telling
late.
you,
It's not too
get you
late.
a pro and
Okay.
see how it goes.
Say less. Say less.
Yeah.
Hey, so here's the next question. So, what is like your ideal like vacation spot? If you had to like go on like a fancy, like relaxing, fun vacation, like what's that like destination spot?
I think I'm gonna go with Greece. And that's
Greece.
so random, but not really. Cause like so I used to work with this lady. She was like my second mom at my job, and she's from Greece. And her family like owns an island or something. I don't even know what she was talking about, but it's something
Hold on, hold on,
crazy
wait, wait,
like
wait, wait,
that.
wait, wait. Her family owns an island.
That's what she said. Now listen. And
Hey,
so,
all right,
yeah.
we'll take
So
it.
she was like, I want you guys to come and visit us one day. And I'm like, I would love to come and visit. And
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah,
I just
yeah,
see pictures and stuff and it just looks so gorgeous. And I
yeah.
love like, I think, is that like the Mediterranean vibe? Like, I think that's in the same,
Is it the
I don't
same
know.
family? Okay, I don't.
I don't
Okay,
know. I don't know. Don't let me get to being wrong on your podcast. But
no, hey, hey, feel
I
free.
just, that whole vibe is just my thing. So
Okay,
I would
I
love to go there.
I wasn't expecting. I don't know what I was expecting because I wasn't expecting Greece. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we'll take it. For me, it's Dubai. Like I've always told myself
Oh,
before.
yeah.
The thing is, like before Dubai became like Dubai has always been like rich people stuff, right? But
Yeah.
before like people were woke to Dubai, I actually wanted to go
Hmm.
to Dubai. Like I was
Okay.
like in like fifth grade, tell my mom and dad, hey, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to Dubai one day. Like in fifth
Yeah, that's
grade.
wild.
Yeah,
Because I didn't hear about it till, like you said, it got blown up on like,
yeah, on social
social
media.
media.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it hasn't happened for me
Yeah.
yet, but I'm crossing my fingers that it's
Oh,
gonna.
you'll get there.
You
Y'all
know
are
what I
gonna get
mean?
there for sure.
There we go. Hey,
Yeah.
wifey, I know my wife is watching this podcast, and so for my birthday
Yeah.
coming up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, girl. He's yeah.
I'm putting in shots there. All right, so we got
There
two
you
more.
go. She got you.
Hey, there you go. There you go. There you go. We got two more questions for you.
Okay.
What
Yes.
is on your playlist, or who's on your playlist right now?
I feel like I'm so eclectic, and I'm one of those people that will watch something, or I'm sorry, watch too, but listen to something over and
Yeah,
over. I don't really go and
yeah, yeah.
search new music. I'm
Okay.
gonna listen to what I know is tried and true. So,
Mm.
here lately, well, for one, I'm sorry, but I'm Team Kendrick Lamar. I don't know your
Okay.
viewers, what's going on with that, but are
I'm cool.
you?
I'm
But
cool. I'm
okay,
cool. I'm
okay.
cool.
So that's been on repeat. He just gets me in like a vibe of like, all right, you can do this. Like
Mm.
it's like very motivating and uplifting to me. I don't know how to explain it. I would
Yeah.
say that. And then I'm from Ohio, so I'm in the Midwest, and a lot of like the funk artists came from here, like Ohio Players and Lakeside and all those bigger,
Mm-hmm.
older
Mm-hmm.
bands. And so growing up, that's all I really listened to with my dad. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I have an old soul, so I would say it's a lot of
Okay.
like that kind of music on my playlist as well.
I love it. Yeah. For
Hmm.
me, I think I'm very much diverse. Honestly, I'm a
Hmm.
music head. I think I told you on our prep call that I'm a musician, and so
Yep.
like
Yep.
anything from like opera to gospel to Afro beats to jazz, like
Yes.
it don't matter to rap. You know what I mean? But I will ask you this
Yes.
question though:
Hmm.
do you think that Kendrick blew up more, or people really like got to really see Kendrick more after the beef?
Oh yeah, for sure. Cause like
Okay.
I've been a Kendrick fan since swimming pools, I guess. And that was what in I don't know, it was before I had my first child. So it
Okay.
was a while ago. She's
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
10. So I've been a fan since then. But I definitely think that whole situation and then him being on the Super Bowl, that just opened a whole nother door for a fan base to come in. So
Yeah.
I think if you know, you know, and you
Mm.
have your reasons for listening to him. Like I said, it's like a deeper like meaning. It's not just I don't know, he's just such a artist with his lyrics.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
really hard to explain, but
Yeah.
I for sure think that it
Yeah.
opened up his fan
Hey,
base.
no, I love it. I love it for him. So last
Yeah.
question here, and then we can get into like dissecting your story. So as y'all can see here, like we are not just tech. Like y'all see, she's a Kendrick fan. Like she likes
Yeah.
to go to Greece. You know what I mean? And so one of the things that I love about like this podcast here is the fact that like we're able to just show y'all that we're human. Like we eat the same food as y'all eat. Maybe not, because some people
Right.
eat interesting food, but for the
Right.
most part, like we all do the same thing. You know what I mean? And so I think
Yes.
it's cool to like, like I said, I'm a fan. I've seen your YouTube videos, and it's cool to see you talk about like this human stuff, things that anybody can identify with. I think it's kind of cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, last question here. So, what makes you smile? Like, what makes you happy? What makes you yeah, like joyful?
Yeah, I think that is that's a deep question too, because even at 35, like I just turned 35 last month, I feel like that's ever evolving, right? Like
Mm,
you're always evolving as a person, or at least you should be. And so with that comes new interests and things like that. But I think one thing that like stays true all the time is my family, to be honest. And I'm a Christian, so like God
and you,
first.
Christian,
And
shout out. Let's go.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Like he has to be at the forefront of everything. And we sometimes slacken, we don't, keep that lane as well as we should
Yeah,
sometimes. But
yeah.
I feel like once I get in my Bible bag and I'm just like really on my, family stuff,
Mm.
that's nothing else really matters.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. I love it. I love it.
yeah.
I like to ask that question because I feel like right now in the world, there's a lot of things that's going on, like a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yes.
And to hone in on our niche in the tech field, there's a lot of things going, like layoffs are going on, right?
Yeah.
People are not hiring as much as they were before. So I like to kind
Hmm.
of ask that question to just get people to just think, and
Hmm.
one to ask themselves like, "Yo, are you actually happy, right?" And if you're not
Yeah,
happy, like go and do that thing that makes you happy. You know what I mean?
for
So
sure.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
love that. Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. That was like a nice therapy session. I love it. Let's
It
go.
was.
Let's go. Let's
Yes.
go.
Yes. I love
Let's go.
it.
Hey, let's do this. Like I said, I know some of your journey. I know like things that you've done, things that you are doing, and I think that it's commendable. It's dope, and I think people can learn from your journey. And I feel like you already have like a huge following that people are already like inspired by your journey too. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that like also my audience can see who you are and be like, yo, let me follow you. Let me like tap into what you're doing and like have what you're doing also be like an inspiration for them too. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, for
so
sure. Thank you.
yeah, for sure. So this let's do this before I guess I ask my questions. Go ahead and give the people like a short spiel of who you are, what you do,
Yeah.
um, all that. Yeah, let's get it. I'm
Yeah.
excited, by
So
the way. I'm so
I
excited
am
right now.
too. I'm so glad we got this together. So,
Let's go.
so yeah, I'm Jessica. My socials are you'll see Jess everywhere. That was just I was telling you that was like a play on. I was supposed to start my socials around like minimalism and like self-help and that whole little vibe. And so the minimal Jess was a play on the minimalist. So everybody knows me as Jess. I am a web developer that is pivoting, and I'm sure we'll get into that at some point. But I've been in the tech space for about 6 years now. I got my first role in September of 2019 in GovTech, and I have since then been creating tech content on YouTube primarily, and doing my short form when I can on Instagram and TikTok. That it's funny because the short form is a lot harder for me than the long form. It's so
Yeah.
weird. Like, but I like to talk, so that's probably why. So, yeah, I'm a mom of three. I have two daughters, and I just had a baby boy in February. And fun fact, all my kids have February birthdays. I have February 2nd, 3rd, and 7th. Not like
Wow.
I don't, yeah, that was God's plan, I guess. I don't know. So even my dog's birthday is in February. So yeah.
That's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, it's wild. So, but yeah, have a husband who's also in tech and he is a software engineer. So yeah, that's me. I love content. I love anything tech, gadgets, and in the actual software itself. So yeah.
I love it, yo. I love it. And we're gonna like break down like everything like you just said, in like bite-sized pieces so people can like get to actually know you even deeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But before we do that though, so you have three kids. I also have three kids as well.
Yes.
And fun, another, I think I think I told you this. I'm not sure, but all of my wife and I, our kids, were born in March.
Oh my gosh. So you probably get the same responses that we do.
Yo, they like, but
Yeah.
so for us, our birthday, our both our birthdays and our anniversary is in August. So you
Yes.
do the math. That's
Right. That's
whatever.
what yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do the math. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? But
Yes. Yes.
yeah, those are my hearts, man. And it's cool to also connect with you on like a parent level too, who's also in
Mm-hmm.
tech, because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
people don't really understand like being a parent in tech, yo. It's tough. Like
Yes.
it's not
Yes.
sweet, you know. But we'll get there. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's take it back. I'm too excited. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take
Yeah,
it
I am
back.
too.
Let's take it back and talk about like who you are. Like how was like your upbringing? How was high school? How was like were you into tech in high school? Like what was your passions?
Mhm.
Let's take me back to like young Jess. Like who was that? Who's young Jess?
So I grew up as an only child. I have a brother, but we have different moms, and he's 10 years older than me. So we didn't grow up in the same house, but we are very close. He's like, I always joke and say I'm more afraid of him than I am our dad because he's just like very overprotective. And yeah, so I grew up with a lot of cousins though that felt like siblings. And so my childhood was so fun. I had, like I said, all my cousins. We're super close even to this day. My high school, so I went to a performing arts school here in my city, and it starts in seventh grade. So I went to the same school, seventh through 12th. And you have to like audition. So that's when I told you off camera that I played the flute. And that's how I got into that school was through that. And I did orchestra. So we did performances at like big theaters here. It was
Mm.
super fun. I actually played handbells too. Not a lot of people know what that is, but I don't, you probably do because you're into
Yeah,
music.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I was in choir, and then the piano teacher came and said, "Hey, I'm looking for some students to switch over to handbells. Who wants to go?" Nobody raised their hand. And then she was like, "We travel." So me and one of my best friends, me and him raised our hand and we were like, "We're out." So we went to the Bahamas, we went to Canada, we traveled all throughout the country. It was really fun. So love that school so much. And I feel like it has a lot to do with who I am as far as like nurturing to that artist side, because
Mm.
as software engineers and people in tech, I feel like people don't realize like how creative that makes you in certain veins, in certain rights. So, but yeah, high school was pretty good. Like I didn't have like any bad experiences, like
Yeah.
uh outside of, honestly, I'm going to be honest, I was not the best student, which I think is another caveat to how you can come from any background and still get into the tech industry. I barely graduated from high school. I'm always very transparent about that because I want people to understand that
Mm.
you don't have to be the smartest person. So, and a lot of it was honestly just a lack of me knowing how to navigate my studies and just kind of like being hard on myself and really giving up easy. So,
Mm.
yeah. But other than that, high school was fun. My mom was the cheerleading coach, so I was never not with her. So that was fun. She's like my best friend. So, yeah. Um, Growing up was amazing. And then as far as like being a techie, I've always loved tech.
Mm.
Like I would say that it's always been more so along the lines of tech gadgets. Like I always had to have the latest tech toy. Like I don't know if you remember like on Home Alone, the little walkie-talkie he would talk in to change his
Yeah, yeah,
voice.
yeah.
I had one of those, like the girl version, I
Oh,
think it was like pink
dope,
and purple. Yeah.
dope,
I had all the
dope,
Game
dope,
Boys. Like I was into gaming. Like when my cousins and them wanted to go like to parties and things like that, I was in my room
yeah,
playing like my PlayStation, reading books. Like I was a little nerd.
dope,
So
dope, dope.
yeah. And always playing computer games, but I didn't really get into like the development into a lot later because I
Mm.
didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't,
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
around me, only one person in my family is an engineer, and he's like, I think he's electrical. It's nothing to do with software. So
Okay, okay,
yeah, I
okay.
had no idea that this was even something to look
A
into.
thing.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I feel like most people don't even know what like maybe now, right? But I feel
Hmm.
like a couple years ago, most people didn't really like know what software engineers did. It was kind of like coders just they stay. I always say this analogy all the time. Like they stay in their grandma's like dark basement and just code
Yeah.
all day. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
that's like we do a lot more than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like way more
And we're
than that.
actually pretty cool people.
No, really. Like I feel
Yeah.
I feel like people who are in tech are like one of the coolest people like in the world. Like honestly,
Yes.
like Like
Yes.
literally,
Yes.
literally, yo. We're
I
not
feel like we're like
all.
super down to earth. Like it's just
Yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. Nah,
Yeah.
thanks for that background story. I think that like that gives us like a starting point. It's like how your life was growing up. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I do want to ask you this question though. So, did you go to college?
Mm-hmm.
How was college? And let's go from there.
Okay, yeah, no, I went to college straight out of high school. I went to
Cool.
a local college, a university, and honestly, I didn't do well there either. I got into my bag of, oh, I don't need to go to class. I can just study and turn in my homework and stuff.
Yeah,
No, kids
yeah.
go to school. If you're in school, go to class. You need to go to class. So,
Hey, say that one more
um,
time for the people in the back because they didn't hear you.
if you are in school using your parents' money or loans, go to class. Do not get kicked out.
I love it.
So I
I
would,
love it.
yeah. And it made it worse because one of my closest cousins was going there too. She's a year older than me. And so she had a on-campus apartment. So I was never in my dorm. I was always there because she was
Mm,
cooking. One of her roommates never showed up, so I just stayed at her place all the time. And
yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, it was just, I was not focused. And
yeah.
so I left there and then I tried again to go to like community college. And that's still around a time where I still didn't know anything about software engineering, tech, nothing like that. So I was still going to school I originally went for biology because I thought I wanted to be an orthodontist. And
Mm,
then when I went back to school to the community college, I did psychology, which I'm still very interested in. And I feel like that has a lot to do with what my trajectory is now too. But after that, again, I left because I was like, yeah. And then I went to University of Cincinnati when I moved
mm,
in with my husband. He was already there. He had just come back from being at Hampton, and then he moved back to Ohio, went to University of Cincinnati. So I
yeah.
went there, went back to school for psychology again, left again because
Mm,
I had to have that hard conversation with myself and be like, are you going to school because you want to, or is it because that's what society and the world says you have to do? And I still honestly didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. And then even with psychology, I was like, there's such a long path for that. And I'm not
mm,
even sure what the job placement looks like.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
and it's kind of like, it kind of squishes you in a little bit.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't have any degrees. I all I have is a certificate from
Yeah,
Microsoft for
yeah.
my Power Platform that I
Dope,
just got this year. So,
dope.
but yeah, no degree.
Yo, somebody will like see like what you're doing on social media, YouTube, all the gems. Like you have a lot of wisdom. Like all the
Oh,
nuggets that
thank
you're
you.
sharing. No, literally, like all the nuggets that you're sharing, and they might think that oh, you probably have a master's degree, PhD, blah, right? Talk a little bit about like the balance, right? I'm always the big advocate as to like, yo, get education, right? Like
Hmm.
you should always strive to get education, but it doesn't have to
Hmm.
be a college. It doesn't have to be
Hmm.
certificate. It doesn't have to be one way. But whatever you
Right.
do, gain knowledge, right? Talk to somebody who is probably watching this podcast right now that's like, man, I dropped out of school. Like I quit so many things. Like I don't even know if I can make it in life. Like talk to them about your success story and how you were able to like, yo, like defy the odds. Because I feel like society is kind of like, if you didn't go to college, you're gonna be homeless.
Yeah,
But that's not the
for
truth.
real.
That's not true, right?
Yeah.
So talk a bit about that
Hmm.
and encourage somebody who's watching that who kind of just have your same story.
Yeah. It took me a long time to get here. I didn't, so I graduated from high school in 2008 for
Mm,
reference. I didn't get my first job till 2019 in tech, but of course, like I said, my path wasn't linear and I explored a lot. And I feel like that's a lot of things that people don't sometimes they don't get the opportunity to do that, whether it be like family background, their parents' influence, or just any type of outside noise that will make it to where they feel like they can explore their options. Like I've seen so many YouTubers say, I'm quitting this to explore what I actually want to do. And it
yeah.
seems to always stem back to the fact that they felt like they had to do something at some point. So I feel like I always say this, as long as you're alive, no matter how old you are, you should be allowed to learn and change and grow and make mistakes and come back from those mistakes. And I think there was an article, there was like a 90 something year old woman that just graduated from college because she wanted to
Mm,
do something different with her life. She's still here.
That's
And
beautiful.
so, yeah. And I saw another one where a lady was learning how to code in her 90s because she wanted to build an app where she could communicate with the people in her nursing home, like her friends.
Wow.
So it's like, I would say you're never too old, for
Yeah.
one. Don't let society tell you, because when you hit 30, they think that you are ancient. So
It's
these
crazy what they
TikTok
saying these
babies,
days, man.
yes.
I saw this
No, yeah.
reel on is it I think it was TikTok, right? And
Hmm.
the interviewer went to like colleges, right? And they were like,
Hmm.
"Hey, so what classifies somebody as a a auntie, a grandpa?" Them cats said anything that came after 2000s,
Yeah.
like you're old. And I was like,
Oh my gosh. That's
"What is
disrespectful.
that's
That's very disrespectful.
mad?"
I've seen it too, like where it's like, the kids are like asking their teachers, like, what year were you born? And they're like 19. They'd be like, 19? Like, I think my kids did that to me the other day. They were like, 19? I'm like,
Mm-mm,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is
Disrespectful.
crazy. So then, what are y'all calling like people born in the 80s in the 70s?
Exactly.
Like
Like,
fossils?
what?
like,
Right. Like,
like,
right. Like,
yo,
what
that's
is that?
wild.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild. That's crazy.
uh,
That's crazy.
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful. No, but I love it though,
Yes.
man. I think that like I said, society is always like, yo, go one path, and if you don't go that path, right,
Hmm.
it's like you're gonna be a bum. And I think one
Yeah.
thing that you had mentioned that resonated with me was like people just do things just to do things, right?
Hmm.
And it's like, man, like even that 90-year old is like, yo, like I'm 90 right now, but I want to do something else, and that's
Yeah.
legit okay. Like it's
Hmm.
okay to say, hey, I've lost interest in this, right?
Hmm.
Or I want to do something else. Like that's totally fine, right? I
Yeah.
think that when you box yourself into I am only a, right,
Hmm.
you lose sight or you lose the ability or the beauty in life to just be able to just diversify like everything else that you do. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, I agree. It almost in a sense makes you kind of lose yourself sometimes too,
Mm,
because
yeah,
you're like, well, I'm known for this one thing, or people know me for, whatever, or
yeah,
I've always done this one thing. Like, who am I outside of this? So, yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. There was a time where I honestly lost my passion for tech. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
probably like
Oh, I understand.
yeah, this is probably like no, probably like a year and a half ago, probably.
Okay, so not that long
Prob
ago.
not that long ago. No, not at all. And
Yeah.
I remember I was in boot camp and coding boot camp, and the passion was there, yo. I was going. It got to a point I was like, I don't want to fix this bug. Like this is
Yeah.
irritating to me. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to do this no more, right? And I remember
Hmm.
feeling like I've built a brand, and if I pivot, I'm gonna let
Hmm.
people down. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
And that pressure was like,
Yeah.
whew, you know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
I will say this though, thank God I found out that I was just burnt out, right?
Okay.
So it wasn't
Yeah.
a loss; it was me being burnt out, and so because of that, I thought I had lost passion for it. So thank God I still had the passion for it, but I was just burnt
Right.
out, which is a whole
Okay.
different like scenario, right? But I guess my question
Hmm.
to you is like, when have you ever or have you ever like fell out of love with tech,
Oh
like
yeah.
as a whole?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have. And I feel like it was a lot of my imposter syndrome that was
Mm,
for me. Um, just feeling like I wasn't good enough. I had those moments where I was like, why, like, how do I fit in this space? Because you see so many people, especially for us as content creators, like part of our job as content creators is to be on social media. And so
yeah.
it's like you can't just like people who don't do content, they're like, oh, I'm taking a social media break and things like that. But for us, it's like this is work and I
Whew.
got to show
Yeah.
up for work. So
Yes.
when you see everybody else like, oh, I just did this and I built that and I did this, and you're just like, well, I just moved around some pixels on, I just moved some stuff around on this front end screen. It can be a little bit overwhelming because I don't know if you feel this way, but because tech moves so fast and there's so much to it and you're always going to be learning, sometimes it can feel like you're behind even if you're not.
Of
Um,
course.
so yeah, so I would say like especially when I was working at the creative agency, that's
Mm,
when I let imposter syndrome get to me so bad
yeah.
that I actually just left and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, what do I do? And then I consider, healthcare and just other options because of my other interests. So yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I have
Yeah.
gotten to that point. And like you said, I don't think it was necessarily falling out of love with tech. It was more so of being afraid. So
Hmm. How did you
yeah.
like combat that though? How did you get over that hump?
Honestly, a lot of prayer. And my husband is like always in my ear. He is
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times he supports me. Your wife probably can say this about you. He support or like he sees things in me that I don't see in myself a lot.
Mm.
And he's always like in my back pocket, like, no, you got this, or, having me remember what I have accomplished. And you have to realize that, like, I guess I had to take a step back and be like, I did not get hired at these jobs for no reason. There was something that they
Right.
saw in me that put me in the room. And so I had to get out of my own way and just remember. And so prayer, having somebody in your corner, and I would say journaling helps a ton
Mm.
because you kind of get those thoughts out of your head and onto paper and you can visually see stuff and be like, oh, it's not that bad. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Hey, let's do this. And I feel like we kind of like went. I feel like we kind of like went further, but I love it though. But I do want to do this. I do want to do this. Let me ask you this question here, and then we can
Hmm.
jump back forward again. So college, high school, college, right?
Hmm.
In and out. How did you stumble across like software engineering? How did you get your feet in that role?
So I think I mentioned this earlier. I love stationery, like paper, pens, all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And so in 2016, it was right after my oldest was born, I started a blog where I wrote about stationery and I would review stationery and be like, this brand put out this planner and all these things. And so it got to a point where I think it was 2018. I'm so bad with timelines, but I think 2018 I noticed that there was this big stationery show, like an actual, like, how we have the tech conferences, there's one for stationery
Mm.
and it's in New York City. And it's a huge thing where like top vendors, like these top stationery companies come and they just have their booths and showcase what they're going to be launching and things like that. So I had this blog. And again, here's my husband like, you should go. And I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not big enough. They're not going to let me in. He was like, you should go. So I wrote to them and I was like, hey, this is what I do, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, okay, yeah, we want you to come and cover it. I was like, whoa, okay. So
Wow.
him and I, we scrambled up because we were still like super hurting back then. So we scrambled up our little funds. We got to New York, and at the time he was fully focused. Neither one of us were in tech, so he was fully focused on videography. And so he was basically behind me with the camera, just getting some little vlog footage and different clips. And what ended up happening is that a lot of the brands started to ask me like, hey, do you have a website that we can check out, and where's your website? At the time I was blogging, but it was like on wordpress.com, so it was
Mm.
super just kind of whatever. So I would give them the URL, but then once I got home I was like, I really should like make this better. I should make this look a little bit more professional with these type of eyes on it. So it I literally stumbled across it because I needed to fix something on my website. It required HTML. And then from there, I went down the rabbit hole. I was like,
Mm.
what is HTML? What is CSS? Wait, you can build whole websites just from like typing some stuff. What is this? So that's how I got into it. And I started with Treehouse because of Chris Sean.
Team
Um,
Treehouse. Yeah.
yes, yes. I saw that he was pubbing that for sure. Like, because I think that's where he first started. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think we mentioned that like he was one of my biggest reasons for knowing that I could do it without going to school. And
Mm.
so, yeah, Team Treehouse got it kickstarted, and then Free Code Camp kind of took over it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
What is one piece of advice you give to somebody who is learning to code? Like, okay, you have stumbled across HTML, CSS by
Hmm.
whatever means, right? And in your case, it was like, yo, I have to build something, right? What
Hmm.
is like the next step that you would tell somebody? Because I feel like a lot of people call me and they're like, hey, I want to become a front engineer. And they have the zeal, the joy is there, but then they start
Hmm.
learning and like a month later, 2 months later, they fall off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is one thing you
Yeah.
can tell somebody to like, yo, like, okay, once you figure out that you have some kind of interest in this, what do you do
Hmm.
next?
Yeah, I would say always start with your why because if you know why you want to do something and it's strong enough, you can kind of lean on that as a crutch to like keep going. So, like
Mm,
for me, my why was I wanted to get my family in a better situation and I
mm,
wanted to go after something that at the time I was extremely excited about, like super excited. And
yeah.
so, like, this was something that I was doing, staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning, just trying to get something, center a div or something like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I always tell people like when I, record my videos, I'm like, start with your why.
Mm,
Then from there, if you're not sure exactly, because learning how to code, that's a broad term, right? Um, you could learn to code to be a front end engineer, back end, you could do app development. There's so many different things you can apply the code
yeah.
to. So I would explore the different roles, what they entail, what languages are there.
Mm,
But if you know, like you want to do front end, I always say start free. So start with something like Free Code Camp just to kind of like see, do you actually like this? And then, I like pub free 100 devs a lot
mm,
because that's going to give you the community. That's going to give you the from start to finish at your own pace. There are so many like jam-packed value in that one program. It's a
yeah.
100% free, boot camp. Not, I don't have any affiliation with them, but I just truly believe in their projects. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say start free. Another one is the Odin Project. I see a lot of people doing that too.
Hmm. Hmm.
That one is very reading heavy. So I think it depends on your learning style, but you don't have to go out and spend tons of money if you, because not everybody has it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, um, I would say start with the free to see if you like it.
Yeah, yeah. So what was like your journey like? So I know you said that you started with Team Treehouse, right? What was your
Hmm.
journey? I'm guessing you were doing front end, right? So give me like a
Hmm.
spill from you learning to you applying.
Yeah. So I did free code camp. Uh, Mostly I did Team Treehouse, I would say, for like the first couple months, and then when I forget how I found free code camp, but once I found it I was like, okay, I kind of like this a little bit better. And I just kind of stuck with that for whatever reason. And so at the time they didn't have nearly as much as what they have on there now.
Hmm.
So I didn't learn, there were a lot of things that I didn't learn, but that's a whole different subject. When it comes to applying, I would go to meetups. So I would hear YouTubers who had been in the industry for a long time say like a lot of people that they help and mentor, they tell them to go to meetups.
Yeah.
And so I had never heard of that before. I didn't even know that was a thing. And so I went to meetup.com, the actual app, and I think I searched like coding groups, and then I put in my city,
Mm.
and I found this group that was basically centered around women who code. So, like I said, men were welcome, but it was like majority women. And a lot of them were people that were trying to get into the industry, but you had people that were in it for like 20 plus years and they were just coming to support. So, from going to those meetups, I actually did not apply to my first job because I got my job from that meetup.
What was that job? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, so it was a web developer. It was a weird position because I was a web developer, but the title also said system administrator.
Okay.
So I'm not sure where that system administrator came from because I didn't do anything that I know now as system administrating.
Yeah.
So I think that's just how they, described the task that I was doing
Yeah. Yeah.
at the time. But it was in government. So
Okay.
I would do websites for like Air Force efforts, and that's really
Mm.
hard to say, Air Force efforts.
Air Force
And
efforts. There you go.
yeah, yeah. And so a lot of times, like the government stakeholders would just like contact me and be like, hey, this is what we need displayed on our websites,
Yeah.
the internal sites. And I would just basically manipulate the PHP and build like wiki pages and things like that. So it gave me
Okay.
a lot of experience with gathering deliverables, knowing what the design looks like, and then delivering on the solution.
Mm.
So, yeah.
How did you like that job? Because I feel like I hear people saying things that like their first job was not like what they really wanted to do. They just took it, right? Then I
Hmm.
hear people saying like, "Yo, my first job, I landed like my dream job," right?
Yeah.
So that first job, first of all, I think it's crazy. You went to a meetup and you just bing just like that. I think
Yeah.
that's how did you feel about that?
Oh my gosh, that was like surreal because
Mm,
the lady who ended up giving me the opportunity. She owned her own company that
Okay.
happened to be on the same contract as the one I ended up on. So she kind of just basically she knew that they were hiring for or they were getting ready to open up that role.
Yeah.
And she heard me in there. I would bring my little laptop. I didn't have a good laptop at the time. It was like almost broken off the hinges, but I was
Mm.
working with it.
Yeah.
I would bring my little laptop every time and I would show people my projects. This is what I'm working on. How can I make it better?
Yeah.
What else should I learn? I was just asking any question I could. And I think that she saw that, which is crazy because she wasn't even one of the main people I would talk to when I went.
Mm.
But I guess she was just kind of just observing. And so she messaged me one day and she was like, yeah, we have this role. And I was like, yeah. Because at the time I
Mm.
wasn't working at all. And so basically, I knew that I had the role based off of how she was explaining it because technically it was her company that I was working for, if that makes sense. That you
Gotcha.
know how contracts work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but she needed to make sure that the parent contract company I meshed well with that team because that's who I was going to be working with
Yeah.
ultimately.
Yeah.
So basically, it kind of went fast. It's like she asked me, did I want the role? I said yes. It's like she set me up on purpose to get all of
Mm.
these things on my resume and under my experience belt. So I was able to get a clearance because of this because they sponsored
Wow.
that. So um that happened and then I think like the next day or so I was at a lunch with the team as though I had already gotten hired and they really just were trying to get to know me. They didn't really ask me any questions. And then a week or no, the next day they told me that I got the job. So I was just like,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
kind of, it's almost like showing that passion, showing that I wanted to learn, that I could learn. It almost was the interview itself, if
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
So that's the power of networking and
Mm.
putting yourself out there and building out loud.
Yeah. I saw a YouTube video of yours and I was going through the
Hmm.
comments. I think I had commented and then I think under my comment, let me be nice. Under my comment,
Yeah.
somebody said something dumb. And I'm
Yeah.
paraphrasing. They were like something like you didn't do a whiteboarding challenge and so you're not a real developer, blah blah, blah.
Hmm.
Something real dumb. Honestly. And I was like what? Like, are you serious? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I do want you to like I think you made a video or you I can't remember what you did, but I do want you to like make a comment on that because I feel like people feel like you have to if you don't go the hard route, they're like,
Hmm.
oh, you haven't like you're not on our level, right?
Hmm.
But I feel like there's so many ways to success, yo. Like
Yes.
literally my first role,
Hmm.
what got me the position, right? And I
Hmm.
asked my manager, I was like, hey, so out of all the people, like, why did you choose me? They're like, yo, out of
Hmm.
all the people, you were the first one to be like, hey, can I share my screen and show you what I built? And they were
See?
like,
Yeah.
oh, nah, this guy's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so crazy because I be ignoring stuff like that to be honest because
Yeah.
I just feel like those type of comments come from the same people. Like it's just
Mm,
the people who I feel like maybe they got their opportunities, like you said, maybe it was a little harder, it took a little longer for them, or they
yeah.
had to go through, 4 years of school or whatever their case is. They feel like when you're somebody who went to a boot camp or you learned on your own or you were able to land a job, in a certain amount of months instead of years,
Yeah.
and they've been applying because I had somebody say that like I know they listed all their tech stack and like how
Mm,
long they've been applying and things like that. And I guess for me, it's always been about um how do I say this? You know, people can have skills, right?
mm,
But are you able to talk to people? Are you
yeah.
personable? Are you
Yeah.
easy to work with? Can you communicate? Like there's other things that factor into being a software engineer or web developer because it's such a collaborative role and you have to be able to be worked with like or you know what I'm saying like people have to like to be around you and so I don't know these people personally but I would say if anybody is watching and then looking at those type of comments you have to kind of take those comments with a huge grain of salt because a lot of times it's people who may not have had and a, I don't want to say an easier path because it was still, like you said, it was still a grind. It was still like work that had to be put in. But I'm also a firm believer of, I'm going to bring it back to God again. I'm sorry, but He's going to
Don't be
place,
sorry. Go
He's
for
going
it.
to place people in situations that He sees fit for them. And you just kind of got to move like that. Like, are you a good person? Are you trying to help other people? Are you talking to other people, or are you just sitting behind your computer learning alone, or, like not networking and things like that? There's so many different factors that play into it. And so, like, even my second job, like, I didn't have to do any type of whiteboarding or anything. And I was hired because they said they liked who I was and they
Mm,
saw what I had inside of me.
mm.
So yeah, I kind of ignored those comments. And I was
Yeah,
talking to
yeah.
another creator too, got real close with her, and she was saying the same thing. She's like, man, some of the comments we get under our
Mm,
videos, like, as
yeah.
soon as you say you didn't go to traditional route, here they come.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of crazy because like I said, it's not like you're not up there like busting your ass. Like you're busting your
Mm-hmm.
tail. Like I think sometimes people see what we want them to see as creators, right? As
Mm-hmm.
creators, if I want you to see something, I'm gonna turn on the camera, shoot it,
Mm-hmm.
and if I don't
Yeah.
want you to see it, I'm gonna edit it out and post. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now we try
Yep.
our best to be like real for y'all, but there's certain things that
Mm-hmm.
just don't make it in, right?
Yeah.
People didn't see how long you're studying for. People didn't see
No.
the 3 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
I know that you just had a baby. Congratulations, right? People don't see
Thank
all the
you.
things that like go
Mm-hmm.
because my wife has blessed me with 3 beautiful kids, yo.
They are so
And
beautiful. I love your
I
family.
thank you so much. Those are my hearts, man. But
Yeah.
I know like what mothers go through in tech. Like
Mm-hmm.
like I live with one, like literally.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I
Yes.
think people when you gather up a little bit of energy to come and shoot or show something, then like, oh, you had it easy. But it's like you don't even know what else was going on
You don't know my
30 minutes
story.
ago.
You don't exactly. Let me say that 30 minutes ago, because life is lifing. So you
Mm,
just don't know people's
yeah.
story, and like you said, that is so true. Like, you see what we put out there, and I wasn't even filming at the time.
Mm,
I can't even remember. I think I had a YouTube channel, but again, this is not what I saw my YouTube channel being. This
yeah.
is,
Yeah.
I guess, what God wanted it to be, because I didn't not have that in my plan. And yeah, they don't see, even with content creation itself, just all the work that actually goes into it. It's not just turning on a camera. It's not just like, it's just so much.
Mm,
And yeah,
yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
important for people to take a step back and realize that there are things that went on behind the scenes that you just don't even
Yeah.
have any clue about. I was pregnant with my second daughter, staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning doing this stuff. And my oldest was 2 at the time. So I have a 2-year-old. I'm pregnant. Like, you just don't know. I wasn't working
Oof.
where, you know, yeah. So
Listen, that to me that beats any whiteboarding. I don't care. Like, cause you can learn that. You
yeah.
can learn lead code. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so, no, shout out to you. I feel like I feel like you're doing a great job. My wife is a fan. I'm
Thank
a
you so
fan. You already
much.
know that.
Y'all
So
too. Like, I'm very inspired. Yes.
thank you so
Yes.
much. So let's do this. Let's talk about the pivot, the big pivot.
Yeah. Here
So
it comes.
obviously, here it comes. I was gonna go there. So obviously, everybody knows you to be a software engineer, right?
hmm
But now you're pivoting, right? So what are you
hmm
pivoting to? Why the pivot? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So I am pivoting into data analytics, and I am pivoting because of some anxiety things that I just went through, to be completely honest. It was postpartum just hit me like a ton of bricks. I thought I was in the clear, but it happened 4 months in, which is, I had, the stigma that it was something that happened right at the beginning when you first have your child. And I was like, oh, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Then all of a sudden one day I wasn't. So it's crazy because I wanted to get into data probably a couple years ago. And I just was afraid, like we mentioned earlier, I was afraid to make the change because web development was all I knew. Like, that's the only type of tech space that I knew. And that's all I talk about. That's all I study. And so I was just like, well, how, like you said, how can I make that pivot when everybody is here for this? And I just had to come to a point where I realized, like, if I worry about what everybody else is thinking, or what, making everybody else happy in that space, I'm never going to like truly know what I want to be doing. And so it's crazy because, as hard as the postpartum has been, because I'm still getting through it, it is what actually solidified that choice for me, because the data analytics, I wanted to be able to do work that created a direct impact and look into the numbers I learned a lot about postpartum throughout this process and the fact that there are so many resources out here that women just don't even know about. I have a chief nurse that lives in my building, and I've talked to her about it, and she specializes in women and children. And so she was telling me, she was like, we have so many resources. And every time we speak to moms about it, they are like, we didn't even know that that was a thing. So I think that, along with my years of struggling with like anxiety and things like that, it just put me back into a space where it's like, okay, what can I do to actually do work that I can look deeper into these things? I love to research. I already do my own little statistic stuff on my own, just naturally interested and curious about things. So I kind of just went through the what is a data analyst, what do they do, how does this fit with my natural interests, and made the decision from there. So it's crazy because like the hardship led to the clarity.
Yeah, yeah,
That's so
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
What are you trying to solve? 'Cause I know you mentioned postpartum. I know you mentioned
Hmm.
mental health. Like, what are you trying to solve with the data? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, so I would love to get into the healthcare, the healthcare tech field. Because like I said, I've done government, I've done creative agency, but I really see myself, because of that nurturing side of me and just
Yeah.
being naturally curious about wellness. I want to look more into how does this data actually give us insights on how to make better decisions for those with mental health issues,
Mm,
better decisions for postpartum resources,
yeah.
looking into, because everything is data, right? Everything is like insight. So why aren't there as many moms that know about these resources that are life saving? Because when I was going through the thick of this, I was Googling things and nothing was really coming up. So it's kind of like, okay, the websites that are there, why is their traffic not being pushed? Like, what is going
Mm,
on in these spaces? And so I feel like with data analytics, like you can literally look at the numbers, you can look at all of that information and just start to go deep dive through it and figure
yeah.
out different things. And so if I can get into a healthcare space where I know that what I'm doing is creating insight that's going to actually turn around and make a change so that it saves somebody's life potentially, that's what I want to do because I've been there.
Mm,
So it's more of a personal thing, I think. It's
yeah.
like, and if I didn't go through this, like, I don't think that I would have
Mm,
known that that's what I wanted to do. And the clarity that I have on my next move would not have been this clear. So,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Praise God for the storm that allows us and leads us to a brighter future. Cause and that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
hard to say now because I'm currently in a storm. My
Yeah.
family, and my wife and I, we're definitely in a storm right now, and we're just
Yes.
like, bruh. I'm
Yes.
trying to get out. Like, I'm trying to get out of the storm, but I think that's a
Yes.
lot of times like things happen that doesn't feel good. It's a
Mm-hmm.
process. It's a season. Um,
Yes.
but I do feel like every single time, like God takes us out, and
Yes.
we learn something from it. So I feel like when you said that, that resonated with like my current season, like now,
Mm-hmm.
like legit, like
Yeah.
now. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah. And
I
I'm
like that.
definitely praying for you guys because my husband
Thank
and I
you.
are in one too. And
Mm,
it like you said, it's not fun. It doesn't feel good, but I'm glad that you brought it up because that's another thing that just shows that we're human.
yeah.
I think people think because you're in front of the camera and that you just have this perfect situation. It's like,
Mm,
no, life be life and for everybody.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but throughout those processes, I totally agree that without the storms, you kind of don't know, for one, how to like appreciate
Mm-hmm.
those good points,
Yeah.
and you don't really learn any lessons. So,
Mm,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, let's talk about being a mother in tech because
Hmm.
mothers are dear to my heart. Obviously, I have a mother. My wife is a mother,
Hmm.
and I have three girls. So I think the way I think of mothers, women, I'm like, yo, I'm rooting for y'all, like 100%, bro. Like I'm legit
Yeah.
rooting for y'all, um, because there's a lot of things that like hinders you guys from actually doing what you want to do. Whether if it's like, yo, I just, I've seen my wife like trying to achieve a goal a goal,
Mhm.
and then now she's pregnant, and then now
Mhm.
is derailed, right? I've
Mhm.
seen her trying to achieve a goal, and now postpartum, right?
Mhm.
And now baby, and now I've seen so much, man, and I think that that's something that is not talked about much. Um, I really do feel like there should be, like you said, more data to help
Yeah.
women, right? More data to expose to people, right? That like, yo, like this is a need over here, man. You know what I mean? So I guess my question to you is like, how is it like being a mom in tech? Like, how is the struggle? How is the joy? Because obviously it's not all bad, right? There are some good
Mhm.
things too, right? So, yeah, how
Mhm.
is it like being a mother in tech? And obviously we know that tech is it can be very demanding, right? You're learning this,
Yeah.
you're pivoting right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so how is that? And I guess two-part question: how is your support system? Obviously your husband, right? And
Mhm.
how does that look like? Family, friends, all that. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you hit a lot of stuff on the head. I feel like what your wife experienced is literally what I experienced as far as like you said, you're pregnant, then you are, going through that whole thing. Then here comes the postpartum, but then the babies, it's like I don't know if your girls are like this, but my kids will literally see their dad right there and still come to me and still
Hey,
call
hey,
my
hey! Let me
name and
stop
be
you. Do
like,
not say that. Do not.
yes,
I'm.
no, we gonna put that out there.
I got to cut this out. I got to cut this out.
No, you better leave this part in because no, no, these kids,
Yo, let me say
it's
this.
like,
Literally today, like a couple hours ago, yo, I'm sitting right there with my youngest on the dining
yeah,
table.
uh-huh,
Literally, she gets up, walks up 2 flight of stairs, goes to our
uh-huh,
bedroom, and says, "Mommy, can you please make
yes,
me bread?" And I'm
yes,
like, "Did you not see me sitting here?
right
Did
where
you?"
you need it to be. No, these kids be tripping. They really, they be on one. Like, cause I will literally like, especially my middle child. I don't know if it's the middle for you, but that middle child for me, woo. So yes,
Oh
but we got
man.
to keep that in there because listen, that's moms across the globe, I guess. So,
Listen,
but
every
yeah,
mom just felt like so freaking validated
yes,
right
yes.
now.
I see you. I see you. So.
I'm
Oh my gosh.
crying.
I'm like, are y'all joking? But anyway, so because of that, it's like, I got even the baby has caught on to it. I'm like, his dad is holding him and he sees me and everything just breaks loose.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
to be completely honest with you, like you said, I'm going through basically I'm in school, basically. It's the
yeah,
equivalent of
yeah.
being in school. I have projects, I have, things that I have to turn in. I have, readings and whatever. And my son, he's 6 months, he will see me and I'll have to hold him. So I've become a pro at typing with one hand. I can navigate this computer with one hand, baby on this
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, wow.
So, that's a thing. Like you said, it's kind of like you almost feel like you're always just trying to stay on top of things because you have your husband, you have to spend time with your husband. Your kids need your attention. They need you there because they don't understand mommy's working. If they see you at home, you're at home and
Mm-hmm.
you're their mom.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you have that. You want to cook, you want to clean, you want to do whatever it is, not to, no gender roles or anything like that, but, like you have responsibilities as a partner to someone. So there's just, I feel like for me, there's always this sense of where is the time for me? Like, where do I, fit that in? But the cool part for me about being a mom in tech is the fact that my kids are very interested in what I'm doing and they think I'm the coolest person ever for now.
That's
So
dope. That's dope.
yeah, like they'll see me like coding and then they'll be like, "Did you make that?" And I'm like,
Mm.
"Yeah." And then they're interested. So I started to over the summer teach them how to code and like through what were we using? Uh it just left my mind. I'll have to look it up. But there's so many different, resources out there for kids. And so they like to code. My oldest, she goes to STEM camp every summer now. So and she's actually interested in it. I don't know that she'll become like an actual like engineer in the coding space, but she likes to, she's interested in like building things and figuring out how they work and taking things apart. So
Yeah,
I would say that's one of the best parts is that your kids get to see you do this amazing thing that people think is just so mystical
yeah,
and then
yeah,
you can
yeah,
you
yeah.
can kind of hype it up like yeah I'm a superhero so
That's so freaking dope.
yeah
That's
yeah
dope.
my kids love it and so Yeah, but the things about, I guess, like finding yourself can be a little challenging,
Mm,
knowing how to split up your time because this is a field that's ever evolving. You have to learn so much.
yeah,
It just almost feels like you don't have time to do anything.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like you said, it's very demanding. And I think people think that you're just sitting in front of a computer all day, but your brain,
Mm,
that brain power that you have to exert is a different level.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I told my wife, I was like, I don't know what season this is gonna be, but I told her, I was like, I really want to do like dedicate like one, whether if it's a season or episode, to just like women in
Mm-hmm.
tech, because I feel like, no,
Dope.
literally, because I feel like I
Yes.
see a lot of, I see some, not even a lot, I see some programs geared towards women in tech, mothers in tech, single
Mm-hmm.
moms in tech. That's another one. Single moms in tech. That's another one. But
Oh, yeah, that's a whole different.
we'll get there.
Woof.
But I
Yes.
I really want, because I feel like I said, I'm living this. My wife is a mother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a girl dad. So to me, the passion is like here, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
if I can use my platform to highlight like some dope creatives, some dope like developers, some dope
And there are
minds,
some dope ones out here.
bruh. Yes,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
You just
So
had Shay on the cloud. Shay in the cloud. I
dope,
love her.
dope.
I love her. She is so dope to me. Like Shay in the cloud, yes. I think she did 100 deaths too.
Uh
So
huh. Uh huh.
I
Yeah.
love her.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's
She is so
dope.
inspiring.
I
Yeah.
had Triniqua on as well. Triniqua's mad
Yeah.
dope. She worked for I think this is Southwest Airlines.
Oh, that is
She worked
super
for
dope.
a super airline. Yeah. So like there are women in tech actually like literally killing it, yo. And so I really
Yes.
want to like use this platform to, I don't know, it might be like a episode or like a whole entire season, but whatever it is, like,
Yeah.
women, y'all know, if y'all got me, I got y'all. Like, we
Yeah.
gonna do
Yeah.
something, you know what I mean? We're gonna do something,
Yes.
yo.
Thank you for
Um,
advocating.
no, for
Thank you.
sure, for sure. It's a must. It's a must,
Hmm.
man. But I do want to talk about this, and I'll let you go. Let's talk about like your content creation, because obviously you're
Hmm.
not just pivoting. You're not just a tech mind. Like, you're not just a mother. Like, you go get the bag. Like, you're diversifying things. Like, you
Hmm.
have brand deals, and you have a brand deal with a company that I've been looking to do something with for a minute.
They're
But
coming your way. They're coming your
listen,
way.
it's gonna come. But yeah, let's talk about
Yes.
brand deals, because
Yeah.
I think people don't realize that we do a lot, yo. We do a lot. Like, you realize that like working with brands, that's a whole nother full time job
That's
by
a whole
itself.
thing.
You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So let's talk about that. Let's dissect that.
Yeah, like you said, brand deals are a job within themselves because not only do you have to like go out and find the brands, or you have to like, first of all, let's start with building your brand. You have to put in that time to know for these brands to know why they should work with you because you're an investment for them.
Yeah.
They want to get a return on their investment at the end of the day. Because I always say this, we're the new commercial. You know, we grew up watching cable TV. So, you know, nobody's really watching that anymore if you're a certain age. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like we are the new commercials. And I think that people, you know, they see content creators and they think that this is an easy thing.
Mhm.
I would say this is probably the hardest job I've ever had
Yes.
because yeah, for one, you're your own boss, so you have to be very diligent about your time. You got to be accountable, all those
Yeah.
things. When it comes to brands, you also don't want to like just take on just anything. Like I've turned down so
Hmm.
many things because they don't align with what I do. Like it doesn't make sense. It
Yeah.
like I'm sure you get like all these emails and it's like I don't even talk about that
Yeah.
stuff on my
Yeah.
channel. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. And so you have to be yes, there's a lot of money that can be in it, but you have to be, I feel like morals need to come
Hmm.
first.
Hmm.
And so I never do brand deals with any type of platform that I haven't had hands on with first, that I've had experience with, that I actually fully stand behind and I actually
Yeah.
like what it is that they're doing. I typically, you know, I won't do that. Now, if it's
Yeah.
a product, that's a little different because then I can kind of unbox it, but I'll give my honest, you know,
Of
opinion and
course.
stuff
Of
like
course.
that. So,
Yeah.
I would say brand deals are a lot slower for me, and I told you this before, like off camera, is because I think because I personally haven't gone out and done my due diligence to go and find the opportunities myself. I've just kind of waited for things to come to me this whole time. Um, but in that, you get the practice, I guess. You practice how to speak to these people, how to negotiate, how to say what you will and won't do. Like, these are my prices and this is my price because this is work. Like, I don't, a lot of, I'm not gonna say a lot of brands, but some brands will try to like go after the smaller creators because they feel like they're, a better price, but you're still gonna pay me for my time to record this, edit it, script it, research it. All of these things are a huge job that most times we're doing by ourselves.
Yeah.
So a whole job. It's a whole job.
I feel like you broke it
Yeah.
down like very well, yo. Like it's a whole job. But I will say this: shout out to my brother from another mother. This is not sponsored or paid. I just one thing about me, yo. I will put like another brand on my platform. If you're dope,
Yes.
I don't care. You know what I mean? Now,
Yes.
listen, if y'all want to sponsor your boy, go ahead. But right
Right.
now it's not sponsored. But shout out to my brother Ferdinand. I'm gonna actually have him on the podcast. Also.
Hmm.
We actually already shot and everything, and so editing whatnot. But I'm gonna have him on. So he's the CEO of Creator Brand Hub, right? So
Okay.
basically, is a CBH, yeah,
Yeah.
Creator Brand Hub. Basically,
Hmm.
is a platform that him, I think, his brother, they legit built from scratch, like
That is
literally.
dope.
And the
I love it.
idea, yeah, the idea is like it's literally like a hub, is
Hmm.
a platform where creators and the brands can come together, right?
Hmm.
And so say if I worked for, I don't know, X company, right?
Hmm.
And they reached out to you, right? You can come
Hmm.
on and be like, hey, they're quoting me this much, or they're saying this. What was your
Mm.
experience? And it's a like we're also transparent, yo.
I
Yeah,
love
and
that.
he has this thing where it's
Yeah.
like he gives you, because one of the hardest things about doing
Hmm.
is also going to find the email, that like the correct email. That's so freaking
Yes.
hard.
Yes. To see
He
if it's legit or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he literally has
Oh,
the name of the company, the email,
yes.
and he has this AI feature built in where you can click it and it'll give you like a rough draft that's like what to say. Hey, blah blah, my name is blah blah. You fill in the blank,
Hmm.
blah, blah, like literally. So if y'all
I am checking
need
that out.
something,
Yes.
like once again, it's called Creator Brand Hub,
Oh my
CBH. Like
gosh.
literally, like it's game changer,
That is super
game
dope because
changer.
that literally that solves all the pain points. I can't tell you how much
Yeah,
time I spend like just researching, is this legit? Are they just trying to get my information so they can hack my channel or my
yeah, yeah,
platform?
yeah,
And then I kind of like use my husband as like my manager right now. And so
yeah,
like I'll send him stuff because he's a little bit more, into the details and
yeah,
savvy with
yeah,
that stuff. And he'll be like, yeah, this looks legit or it doesn't. Cause I've almost turned down some stuff because sometimes it'll come through and it'll look super weird. So
yeah, for sure.
even if it is legit or if you've never heard of the company, it's kind of hard to know.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because what you explained about, talking to the other creator and being transparent about how much they're getting paid for this and things like that. Just had that experience with another creator, the same person,
Mm.
where we figured out that we were asked to do the same thing that's coming up at the end of this year. And there were a lot of differences on both
Mm.
sides. And so it's kind of like you start to think, she was like, see, we need to talk more as creators because you're like, well, why is this? What about, what is going on here?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is dope. I'm
Yeah.
checking that out right
No,
after
you should.
this.
And I realized that I think the stigma can be like, oh, creators don't want to share how much they're getting paid here.
Hmm.
But honestly, I feel like if there's a space where like we're like, yo, come and be transparent, bro, just to help out
Yeah.
somebody else, like
Yeah.
you, and there's a place where you can give your review on that
Hmm.
like brand. Like, hey, I work with
Yeah.
them, they pay me on time, or I work with them, I will do it again.
Yes.
Blah, like it's
Yes.
like literally like a one like stop shop. Once again, this is not being
Yeah.
sponsored. I'm not being paid for
Yeah.
this. But like, it's a dope platform.
That is such a gem though,
So
because I can honestly say like I've had a pretty good experience throughout my, brand partnership
yeah.
career. But there was one time that I got cheated out of like
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 because and it was my fault. Like I sent over the deliverables and it was through an agency. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
But had I had something like that where other people could have possibly, worked with them or gotten
Easy.
in contact, or I
Easy.
could have looked more into them, I could have had, not even put the time into like, do the project. And
Yeah.
they wanted it rushed at that.
Hey,
So I'm
some of
like,
these
what
brands,
happened
bro.
here?
Let me tell you this story. Like it was, when was it? I think this was this month or last month. Oh no, this
Uh-huh.
was last month. when I tell y'all that, so my this brand reached out to my wife, right? And for those
Hmm.
who don't know, my wife is Gen by Design. That's my boo. Like that's so freaking
I
dope.
love
That's
her.
so freaking dope.
I love y'all.
No, she makes me look good. All right, she makes me amazing. But no, so somebody reached out, like she's there, mind her own business, yo. A brand reaches out to her and is like, hey, I want you to do X, Y, like a lot of stuff. She's like, cool. This is my price. Tell me why they came back like the offer they gave her, yo.
Yeah.
Let's say if she charged like $1,000, right?
Hmm.
Hypothetically, right? Like when
Hmm.
I tell you they came back and said, no, we're gonna pay $200.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
the
yeah.
the drop was like she was
Hmm.
like she was like nah, I'm good. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then so she stuck to her guns, and then they come back and
Yes.
says, hey, okay, we can actually do your action price, right?
Yeah.
And here is like the gem that I want to give from the whole story I just gave y'all with my wife. Like, yo, if you're creative, like you're dope. Like,
Hmm.
it doesn't matter if I don't like your creativity. It doesn't matter
Hmm.
if Jess doesn't like somebody out there likes it. Somebody might not
Yes.
like this podcast, and
Yeah.
that's cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
But in my mind, and to the people who love this podcast, this is dope, right? So if you're
It's dope.
creative,
Yeah.
I really feel like create, like you should create and have the mindset that you're dope and you are worth every penny. Like literally,
Yes.
it
Oh my
don't
gosh.
matter if you got 2 followers or 1,000 followers. If you could
Hmm.
do the work and you have the confidence, like this is thing that these young cats talk about now. It's like what's it called? Is it called aura or steez? I
Yeah.
can't
Or
something
yeah.
like that, right? And it's like
Yeah.
nah, like walk in there like yo, like what's good? Like this is me, this is the
Yeah.
brand, and I can actually solve like your I'm the solution to your problem. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And if my wife was to be like, oh, okay, you can only give me $100, okay, cool, they would have like drained you,
Hmm.
and now
Exactly.
that like that puts like a bitter taste in your mouth for other brands. Like it's not
Hmm.
sustainable. You know what I mean? And so
Exactly.
create and like know your worth if you're creative, man. Honestly.
Yeah, you hit it right on the nose. That is definitely something that happens, unfortunately. And like
Yeah.
I said, I feel like they'll try to pick and choose. Like, but if you stick to your guns, a lot of these brands have it in their budget.
Yeah.
But if they cannot have to pay the whole budget, it's like if you can get something on sale, why wouldn't you? But as a creator, you know the time that goes into it, you know the work that goes into it. It is so much, and a lot of us are working on our own. Like this is a solo job,
Yeah.
and so like I think I've gotten some deals that, like you said, the list was so long, and then they want to
Mm.
pay you $50. I'm like, what? Like
Nah. Crazy.
it costs
Crazy
me
work.
more than that to run the systems, the software that I have to use for
No
to create
facts.
this for you.
Facts.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, stick to your guns, like he said.
Crazy. Yo, let me get you out
Yeah.
of here. Go ahead and give the people, I guess, one or two, I guess, last minute advice. Anything you want to tell people, like, yo, a gem that you want to drop, and then give
Hmm.
them a place where they can follow you, what you're going to be doing next, what you are doing, and yeah, let's
Hmm.
get out of here.
Yeah. So, I would say the most important thing right now, especially like in today's market, the way jobs are, don't let it discourage you. All these every industry goes through its ups and downs, and then it comes back, and you have to learn how to adapt. I see so many people talking about AI and it's going to replace humans and all this stuff, but you guys have to be mindful of the fact that yes, AI is evolving, and yes, it is making our jobs different, but we still need humans to interact with different things. We still need that human mentality to get across certain ideas. And I just see that all over, and it's always in my comments. So like somebody asked me like, aren't you worried about AI and data analysts, that kind of thing? I'm like, not really, because I can't be worried about stuff, or I'm not going to do anything, because really this is affecting every industry,
Yeah.
so it's not just tech. And so with that, the job market, all of those things, if you can find a way to build in public, to network, to brand yourself, it'll let you stand out a lot more. But don't let it completely just throw you off track and say, you know what, forget this, there's no point, because there's always a point.
Mm.
And the people that keep going are going to be the ones who get to those points. Also, just take a day at a time. Be graceful upon yourself, like be gentle with yourself. That's with anything you're doing, not just in tech, not just in learning, but in life. Know that ebbs and flows come, but there's always sun on the other side. So,
I love
yeah.
it. I love it. Where can people follow you once more, just in case they missed it in the beginning?
So it's at the minimal Jess. So I'm sure you'll put it somewhere, but it's TheMinimaljess, the minimal Jess.
Love it.
That is on all platforms. I am on YouTube primarily, and then I am on Instagram sometimes, and I'm really ramping up my TikTok. I've found a liking. I've taken a liking to TikTok because I feel like you can be a little bit more relaxed on there.
Yeah,
So
no facts. You really can.
yeah, yeah.
I love it.
So
I love it. Hey, thank you so
yeah.
much for taking all the time. Like I said, I'm a fan. My wife is a fan, and so like to see some people on YouTube and then actually get to talk to them is like,
Yeah.
oh, this is really dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah, like
so,
you're a really cool person. So,
nah,
and
for
that's
sure.
how I feel. Like you are definitely somebody that I'm always telling my husband, like he is so like you and your wife are just so sweet and just
Appreciate
so
y'all.
supportive.
Appreciate
And
y'all.
so yeah, I'm so grateful to know you
Appreciate
off
y'all.
camera too. So
Definitely, definitely. Next time we're in your city or vice versa, we got a link, get some lunch or
for
something. Like let's
sure.
all like have a double date, do something. You know what I mean? So
Yes, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm so
Of
honored. Thank you
course.
for asking me.
Of course, of course. Yo, we out. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye.